This is PJ Souls, and you are totally listening to Without Your Head, Horror Radio.
All right, and we're back, and we're joined by Tony Moran. He's in Halloween. He's got a lot of movies coming up. He's going to be in Salem. He's going to be in Rock and Shock, and we'll talk all about all of that. But right now, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. How about you?
Not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, we just talked to Gina, who told us to say hello. And
oh, good.
Yeah, so you'll be at Rock and Shock next weekend, October 18th to the 20th in Worcester, Massachusetts, and you'll be there with for the movie Provoked.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's a paranormal horror thriller type movie.
Well, that's very interesting because you took a long break from acting.
Yes, I did.
So what happened? I mean, obviously you were interested in acting in the beginning, and then you took this huge break. Why did you take that break?
I just got tired of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got tired of the people and everything involved. It was just a drag after a while.
Contract kind of stuff, dealing with personalities.
Everything, just pretty much Hollywood's about the scummiest place you could ever want to, be involved with as far as movies go.
So why did you come back?
Well, I got contacted by a guy that had been looking for me for about 10 years. He wanted to do an interview for me for his horror magazine. Mm-hmm. And he actually got me into doing conventions. And from there, I started getting contacted to do independent, movies. And that's how I got back in.
Are the independent films, do you find much more entertaining to do?
Oh, yeah, just way better. Just way better. Just like Halloween, it's just, it's like, okay, I love this kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it must be nice because you're with people that actually really care about what they're doing. It's not just about pumping something out and making a ton of money.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Annabelle. Exactly right.
Can you give us a little rundown of what Provoked is about? You gave it was very brief, but maybe a little more detail.
Yeah, sure. It's about this, amateur paranormal investigative team that they go, looking for ghosts, and they go to Lizzie Borden's house, and they piss off, I guess, a ghost, a couple ghosts or a ghost in Lizzie Borden's house, and the ghost follows them and hunts them down and haunts them and tortures them and, mentally and everything, just messes with them.
Nice. Now, was this filmed around the real Lizzie Borden house?
Yeah, they filmed inside the Lizzie Borden house itself. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Sweet.
We're actually thinking about going there ourselves. So.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it actually like a creepy environment?
Yeah, I wasn't there for the filming, but I did do a tour there, and I was fine throughout the whole house. Until I got to the third floor, the top floor. Then it was kind of weird. Things are just strange up there.
That's where she did all of the dicing of the parents, I believe.
No, she did it on the first and second floor.
Oh, interesting. So why do you think it was all bizarre up on the third floor?
I don't know, and I didn't expect it. It just, I got up there, and it was just a weird feeling. I got up there. It was just, I was fine throughout the whole tour. It was like a 2-hour tour, and explanation and of everything that had been going on, and that day, that month, and the temperature, everything, that was fine. But I got up to the top floor, man, and I just had some, my skin started to crawl. I don't know why.
Now, do experiences like that, do they kind of add to what you do as an actor in a movie like this?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I mean, I guess it could, but it wouldn't make any difference, as far as my acting goes, if I believed in it or not. I mean, I'm still 50-50 on it,
Yeah.
Now, they just premiered the movie in Salem.
Yeah, last Saturday night, yeah.
You were there for that, and I see you did a Q&A. How did that go?
Oh, it was a blast. We had a VIP party first, and then they had a makeup demonstration, and then they premiered the movie, and then we had a Q&A afterwards, and it was a great time. Just a great time. Just really great people involved and stuff, and the place was almost completely packed, a 140-seat theater. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was nobody left. You know,
No one walked out.
during the movie, nobody left, so everybody was enjoying the movie.
That's great.
Yeah, some people say thumbs up, 5 stars, and nobody left. I think that's a good rating system.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is that like nerve-wracking, although watching your own movie with a crowd of people, hoping they don't leave?
Yeah, well, I personally cannot stand watching myself, so I haven't really. I've always been that way. I just don't really like to watch myself. But
so, do you feel like you have a bias that you can't really judge what you've done because you're in it?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Because you're in this movie, do you feel like that bias? You can't really get an idea of what the audience might think?
Yeah, of course that, but I'm not really too concerned about that either. I mean, either they like it or they don't. But
yeah.
I just really, for myself, I've never liked watching myself on film.
Is that because you critique what you've done and think, oh, I could have done this and I could have done that?
Yeah, it's part of that. It's also part of I don't want to see what I did on film. I don't want to see how I acted because I don't want that to get into my subconscious and use it again.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
He also filmed, I guess it starts filming this weekend, Dead Bounty, and that's also going to be filmed in New England.
Yes, yeah, it is. It's me and I get the lead in it. Me and 3 other bounty hunters are looking for this felon murderer guy, and he heads into the forest. We find out, and we go look for him in the forest, and then the zombie attack happens. It's a zombie film.
Nice. Would you like any extras?
Sure.
That'd be
Why not? Why not? Yeah, absolutely. The more the better.
We'll be in touch.
Yes, we will indeed. Yes.
That
would be incredible.
The more the better.
That'll be awesome.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I know there's a lot of zombie movies out there, but is there anything about this that separates it from another zombie film?
Yeah, I think, just the whole bounty hunter aspect, the side story of these bounty hunters looking for the felon murderer guy. But other than that, it's pretty much a zombie movie, typical zombie movie.
What is it about New England? Do you just live around here now, or you're doing a lot of projects?
No, I just I live in Southern California, but I started filming a movie called Beg back in 2007 out here, and I got to know a lot of people, and it's kind of like my home away from home now.
That's cool.
It's a wonderful area. How long have you done anything out here? Are you familiar with the area from before, or is this kind of your first getting used to this past year or so?
Well, this area I'm not really too familiar with. I'm in Fall River right now.
Oh, yeah. It's close to me.
I was more acclimated to, Rockland and Abington area.
Yep.
And Salem, of course. I've been coming to Salem since 2008, I think it's been.
Yeah. It's a great area.
So,
I love it.
Yeah.
I'd move there.
It's like a tradition, me coming there every year.
Definitely. It's a wonderful little place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great.
It's kind of like the circuit of the Salem, little haunted places like Count Orlocks and all that stuff.
Say that again?
Have you done like the circuit? I know there's, it's Salem, so it's got all kinds of Halloween-y, creepy stuff. Have you done like a lot of the different things there, or you kind of held true to that one spot?
Well, no, I've done Count Orlocks, a number of times, but this year I'm doing this other guy's place, and last year I did his place also in a different location. But, but I'm really good friends with James Lergio, who owns Count Orlocks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm doing a different one this year, like I did last year.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you ever home for Halloween? I was going to say what you do at Halloween.
No, I never am. I never am. This is my season, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, when you were younger, obviously people don't know you were the unmasked Michael Myers in the original Halloween, but before that, as a kid, did you ever dress up as anything in particular for Halloween?
God, I can't even remember. It's been so long. You know what I mean? I can't even remember. I think I did a sheet a couple times when I was a real young kid. I don't know. Yeah.
What would you be now, not Michael Myers? What would be your ideal Halloween costume?
Frankenstein.
Nice. Now, why Frankenstein? Why would you pick him?
Don't know. Just, that was the first horror movie I ever saw, And when I was a real young kid, and it freaked me out,
It's my favorite.
It's one that always sticks with me, too.
What are some of the horror movies you like? Did the things inspire you to have this role? Did you just kind of take it because it was there?
No, I just took it because it was there, and quite frankly, I didn't want to do the movie. My agent had to talk me into doing it, and all she knew was I had to play a psycho. She didn't even know there was a mask involved,
Yeah.
And I was sleeping on a buddy's couch, typical starving actor thing, and she talked me into it by telling me that Donald Pleasance was in it, and that was the only reason why I went on the interview.
Absolutely. And why?
Because I figured maybe a week or two in the drive, and then that would be about it with that movie. I thought it was so stupid. I was ashamed of it. I didn't even tell I was in an acting workshop for about a year and a half, and I didn't even tell them I did it. Didn't even tell my family I did it. So.
So now, years later, how do you feel about what's happened with this? It's a total phenomenon. Everybody in the horror world, this is one of the movies.
Yeah, completely humbled by the whole experience, I'll tell you that.
When did you realize, when did you go from like, I don't want anyone to know I did this to, oh man, this is big, I want everyone to know?
Well, it was in the theaters for about, 4 or 5 months at the point that I saw it. I didn't even see it. They sent me an invitation to even go to the premiere, and I laughed. I didn't even go. I just threw the invitation away, And, back then, when a movie was really popular, because there's no DVDs or, or VHS or any of that stuff, the movies would be, if it was a really good movie, it would stay in the theaters for up to a year or so. So after about 4 or 5 months, it's still in the theater. And I turned to my girlfriend at the time, and I said, this movie's still playing. Mm-hmm. She goes, yeah, I know. She goes, yeah, I know, I noticed. And I go, you want to go see it? She goes, sure, So we go see it, and the place is packed and stuff, and midway through the movie, I turned to her and I go, this thing's pretty good. So that's when I knew, it was doing pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then they made a sequel. They asked me to do the sequel, and I turned it down, because I didn't want to wear a mask again. But they paid me, and because they used my footage from 1 and Halloween 2, and they gave me the credit. So that's when I knew that if they're doing a sequel, this is something else altogether. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked you on Facebook, Dave. He wants to know what did you think of Rob Zombie's remake, and particularly the Mask.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and I won't.
Interesting. Why is that?
Well, it's like a stab in the heart. It's like somebody coming up to you and remaking your life using somebody else but you.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Mm-hmm. Now, do you think there's any way in the world that Rob Zombie's movie will ever overshadow yours?
Not even close.
Agreed.
I think everyone's probably...
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. I mean, it's not even a question about that,
when you...
He had to use some guy that was 7 foot tall, had to change the mask, had to do a backstory on Michael Myers. He changed it all up. He couldn't even... it's just stupid. Just
it's
dumb.
Pretty crappy, I'll tell you right now. If you saw it, I think you'd be okay with it because you'd realize how crappy it is.
Well, again, that's exactly why I don't want to see it,
I don't
I'm not
kind of like spitting on what you did.
I'm not going to pay any money for that at all.
Yeah.
That's fair.
None.
Download it for free. I'm pretty sure that's how I've seen it.
Not
that that's okay, but...
you paint a painting and that's it. You don't repaint it,
True enough. It's like someone redoing Mona Lisa. That'd be silly.
Yeah, you just don't, You don't mess with perfection.
What you said about it being 7 foot tall, I always did feel that's something that it actually kind of takes away from the character, because that's what's really scary about the first movie is he's just basically a kid who becomes evil, and he could be anyone. And it makes you associate, especially someone in the suburbs, like there could be someone around here who's a killer. But in that one, he's a giant, freak that's standing out, so obviously he'd be somebody you'd want to stay away from anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Also, Neil and I have talked about the idea of putting a background to this character who didn't really have that much of a background, this abuse history and all this crap. You know, you can go into detail because I know you feel very strongly about this.
Yeah, because like what I was saying was in their first one, what makes it scary is that you don't know why he kills his sister, and it makes you think that anybody around it, you might think you live in a perfectly safe neighborhood, but wow, you know, you watch this movie, just a normal kid could grow up and kill somebody. And then what I really like too is the Loomis character. In the original one, is he tries to save him for years, and then he realizes he is evil, and then just wants to keep him away. And then that's scary. That just a normal kid could, you know, kill somebody. But in the remake, it's all the backstory, and it's about how he's bullied. He comes from a bad, you know, family. He's abused by his stepdad. So really, it's like, well, this kid would be messed up. It's not as scary because he comes from all this abuse and bullying, and so you would.
Yeah, it was a lazy story. I haven't seen it, but I've heard all about it. It's lazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
It's lazy.
Agreed. And they try to make it seem all complicated, and it's not.
Exactly. Who cares? You know.
Exactly.
We're
all on the same page here.
I would like to ask about the music in the original one, because a lot of people have said. When they saw the movie without the music, they didn't really get a lot of it. But once the music was added, it really added a lot of tension and spookiness to the film.
The whole combination of the suspense, the story, the music, all those things. You know, it was a combination of things. It wasn't just one thing. You know, it's the combination of everything that really made that movie. You know. And John Carpenter didn't have enough money to hire a music guy, so he did it himself. He's an amateur musician, and that's why he did it.
Yeah. You know, and John Carpenter, I mean, he wasn't, you know, John Carpenter at the time where everyone knew him and knew Halloween and all these movies. So, what was it like, you know, meeting him and working with him without really knowing a lot about him?
Well, when I met him, it was on the interview, and I met him and Erwin Yablans on the interview in about the most ghettoest place in Hollywood, you know, because it was such a low-budget film. You know, the interview, it was in an area in Hollywood that was just, God, it was just terrible. But, you know, the Erwin Yablans, the producer, he was behind a desk with a suit and clean cut and everything, and then he pointed across the room it was just a single room, across the room to a couch, and this guy with long hair and a T-shirt and jeans and tennis shoes, you know, he goes, "Hey, that's my director, John Carpenter." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, great." You know, because I didn't know who he was, you know. And I just thought, like I was felt like I was, you know, maybe doing a porno or something, you know what I mean? It was so weird. But he was great to work with. I mean, the guy's a genius, that's for sure, you know.
You know, you mentioned leaving Hollywood because you didn't. It was a shady business, but you enjoyed working Halloween. Do you think that kind of spoiled you, like that experience? Like you were hoping that every experience would be like, you know, the set of Halloween, and then you realized
no, not at all. No, not at all. The experience with Halloween was completely different than when I did. You know, I did a bunch of episodic TV work. You know, guest stars and feature roles on episodic TV, and that was fine. That was great. You know. It wasn't that. It was just the people in Hollywood. It just, you know, the casting directors and shit, and you know, and the agents and stuff. They're just scumbags, you know.
Yeah.
Because
they're all out for money. It's like lawyers. They're just doing what they need to do to make money. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care about what you're doing or any kind of creativity. They're just out there making money.
Or a casting director will say, "Hey, man, I'm going to Puerto Rico." You know, a guy would go, "I'm going to Puerto Rico this weekend. If you come with me, I'll give you the part." You know. And I'm like, "No, thanks." You know, just shit like that. You know.
Yeah.
Again, want to mention next weekend you'll be at Rock and Shock, and we just had Gina on and talked about it. There's lots of guests. You go to rockandshock.com and find out all the guests. But have you been to Rock and Shock before?
Yeah, in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does it stand out from some of the other conventions you've done?
Oh, it's a great convention. It's completely different than the rest. You know, they have, you know, they have rock, and they have, the horror shock, and it's a very, very popular convention, and it's a big one. It's a huge one. But it's the music also, and they also have the film, they show films and stuff, so they have it all, so it's completely different than the rest. It's probably one of the best, conventions that's around.
Yeah. Now, do you yourself, do you go to any of the, when you're at Rocket Shock, do you go and see any of the musicians?
No, in 2007 I didn't because I was too busy, but I might this time.
Yeah, Danzig's going to be there. That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Again, the other website's right up on site, rockandshock.com. And you got a lot of stuff, Provoked coming out, Dead Bounty you're going to start to film. Do you have anything after that?
I have another film that's going to be coming out. It's a short, horror short called Once in a Blue Pill. But that's not done being edited and finished and all that. But that's, and we'll probably do a sequel to Dead Bounty as well, I bet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you really love acting. It's just the whole Hollywood crap that got in the way.
That's exactly right. I've always been in love with acting. Yeah.
Do you feel lucky now to have like another chance at the acting world, through these conventions?
Yeah, I'm extremely blessed and humbled by it. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm like one of the luckiest fuckers around.
Yeah. Do you think now, because it is easier for like an independent person to make a movie because, with digital cameras and whatnot, that you get to see maybe you get to see some people that shouldn't make movies, but is it, refreshing to see some people with like good ideas who might not have, someone in Hollywood backing them, and you can see creative ideas? Oh
yeah, it's that's the whole deal, man. It's just blowing up, especially out here, in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. It's really blowing up out here. It's really great to see because, as you know, with Hollywood movies, it's either remakes or different ideas of a movie that's already been done. I mean, there's nothing original,
Yeah. Now, have you thought of writing or directing anything yourself?
Yeah, I've written something, and I've always wanted to direct, We'll see how that all, turns out. I'd like to try to do that for sure. I think I'd be good at it.
Yeah. And we want to mention, too, if anyone's in the Salem area, you're going to be at Halloween Town at the end of the month.
Exactly. It's off of Union and New Derby Street.
Nice.
It's not a giant place, so it's really easy to get to this stuff, people. And Salem's amazing to begin with. You could go there for a day. You could go there for an hour. You could go there for a weekend or a week. It's a wonderful, wonderful area.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I've been there for
it's
the
really
first time
fun
myself,
place, especially on the last weekend of October. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, we want to thank you for coming on tonight.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wonderful talking with you. It was a real pleasure. And hopefully we'll see you. If we can make it out to Salem, we'll definitely come and say hello.
Absolutely. If you can make it, come on by and say hi. I'd love to meet you guys.
Oh,
wonderful.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And maybe you could get a couple extras on Dead Bounty.
Yes.
Absolutely. That'd be fun. That'd be great.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
It would be.
Stuff on the set. Yeah.
Now I'm thinking this is a done deal, and I'm looking forward to it.
There's always room for more zombies. You know what I mean?
Yes. Love it.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
And thank you.
Okay, and thank you very much. Oh, also with Dead Bounty, I just realized one more quick thing. Mm-hmm. The one thing that's different about this is that in Dead Bounty, it also has an undertone of, because of what's happening, what people will do in these kind of situations. You know what I mean? Yes. Like it goes into that kind of a thing of certain people will do certain things in certain situations. Mm-hmm. And it goes into that, a little bit about what people will do, when they're facing stuff like that. Some people will do something in one way, and some people do something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the human factor of, the zombie apocalypse.
Exactly.
Looking forward to that. And thanks again. We'll have you back on sometime if you would like.
I'd like to, for sure.
Wonderful. Awesome. So maybe with the coming out of these little things, you can come back on and tell us more.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Great.
All right, everybody, we'll be right back. We're going to play Prima Donna. It's the Artist of the Month, and we'll be back talking about some horror news.
This is Paul McLarney from Ungovernable Films, and you're listening to Without Your Head.